Hi everyone, Sandra Crowe here, author of Since Strangling Isn't an Option, and the brand new I Didn't Sign Up for This, 7 Strategies for Dealing with Difficulty in Difficult Times. And today I want to talk to you about the difficulty of dealing with an egomaniac. The challenge of dealing with somebody who's right all the time, who can't stand to be wrong, who always knows how things are, especially if it's a boss, an egomaniac boss, or a colleague, or even potentially somebody you live with. So I want to tell you a couple strategies for dealing with them. The first strategy that I'd like to share with you is how you handle it inside of yourself mentally, and then we'll deal with physically. So first of all, mentally. Notice the conversation that you have with somebody who's an egomaniac type. So most of the time we do one of two things when we're dealing with an egomaniac. We either get really aggressive back with them, you're not going to talk to me that way, or we go totally passive and then they run us over. The problem with this is we get into a pattern with them where our need to be right pops up and their need to be right pops up and they're bumping up against each other. This is not what you want to have happen. The other thing that, as I just described, is the opposite of that, which is you go passive, they run you over, and then they hate themselves and you for it because they actually really don't want to be doing this, even though they think they do. So one thing to know about this is that the behavior you see on the outside is a reflection of the insecurity that's present with them on the inside. So if they're acting in these sort of outwardly aggressive egomaniac ways, what's happening is internally they're feeling insecure, but they don't want you to know it. I remember asking a friend of mine one time who was working 16 hours a day, long days, and I asked him one time, why do you work so many hours? And he said to me, because inside I feel lazy and I'm afraid someone is going to find out. This is actually true of the egomaniac. Not that they feel lazy, but that internally they feel like somehow they're not enough or they're wrong or they don't feel like quite up to speed or up to par. And so outside they have to manifest rightness and really the opposite of what they feel inside. So you have to know this so that you're not taken so personally aback by their behaviors. So here's what you want to do. First of all, inside yourself, notice if you're doing one of those two dynamics. If you're going aggressive with them or you're going passive. That's the first thing you want to notice. Then, after that, you want to start to, inside yourself, become stronger. So what do I mean by that? So if your internal dialogue is, yikes, here they are again, or, I can't deal with that. Inside yourself, you want to say to yourself, I can handle this situation with strength and ease. You actually want to boost yourself up a little bit so that when you're in their presence, you become internally stronger. One way to do that is with a stronger internal dialogue. So just saying to yourself the sentence, try it right now. Just saying the sentence, I am dealing with them with strength and with ease. Because you want strength, but not aggression. You want ease, but not passivity. I am dealing with this with strength and ease. Those are a combination that will give you the right operational way of approaching it. So that's the first thing. I'm dealing with this with strength and ease internally. Then the other thing you want to do physically is notice your belly button. I know it sounds kind of weird, but actually there's a place 2 fingers below your belly button that the martial arts and if you take Pilates or yoga play on, and that is your center. So 2 fingers below your belly button, it's actually your dantian or your center or your hara if you're Japanese. This is the place we can actually draw on strength, not only physically in our being, but also supports the mental that I was just talking about. So if you just focus on that place right there, and then what you'll notice is that pretty naturally you'll take a deep breath in and then release. What that will do is it'll begin to relax your body. So there's an ease, relaxed strength about you as you go to deal with them. So now you've got your internal strength, you've got your external physical awareness in your dantian or your hara, your center, and now you're ready to deal with them. And here's something you want to watch out for in language. They are incredibly sensitive to being made wrong. The thing you never want to deal with them is argue. You do not want to argue because that sets you up for this dynamic. What you want to do is use the following language. Say something like, you may be right about that, or that's a possibility, let's take a look, or let's see what the stats say on this. So it's not your word against their word, it's the facts against them. And then you introduce the idea of possibility, that you may be right about that. Let's take a look. You never want to say, well, you're wrong about that, or that's absolutely wrong, because that word will trigger their own defensiveness. So part of what you want to do here in this combination is you want to use language, as I just described, the physical that we just illustrated, and also the mental assuredness that gives you the stance and the stature to approach the scenario with that egomaniac. You put these three together, and what you will do is better position yourself. So the next time you have to deal with an egomaniac, you'll be in a much better position physically, mentally, and ultimately emotionally to handle that type of person. So this is just one type of difficult situation with a difficult person that you may have to deal with in your life. If you'd like to know about other tactics, other techniques, I illustrate 7 strategies for dealing with those in my new book, I Didn't Sign Up for This. It will show you all different kinds of ways that you can deal with lots of different scenarios and difficulties in your life, no matter what it is, from your boss to something that you're dealing with at home. So I hope you'll take a look at that. You can get a chapter of that for free on my website, www.sandracrowe.com. Also, if you have particular questions you'd like me to address in these videos, please feel free to email me.